Ako urong dito, and I said I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Mr. President, there are three musketeers who want to ask questions, representing the entire court. Ms. Andolong, first question.
CNN.
Hi, sir. Sir, we just like to get more details on your decision to accept the resignation of Secretary Dureza. And ano po ba yung allegations doon sa dalawa
Corruption.
that you filed?
Corruption.
What program, sir? How much money involved? Can you give us details?
We're still investigating, but it's corruption.
So will Secretary Dureza, sir, be perhaps
Well,
moved?
Secretary Doresa, treated it as a matter of command responsibility. So we thought that it was only proper that with the involvement of his two subordinates, he offered to resign, and I accepted his resignation. The letter seems to indicate that he is resigning and he is tendering his resignation by virtue of command responsibility or the principle of command responsibility.
Sir, you mentioned that you will be firing another undersecretary. Baka lang pwede nyo na pong
forgot the name of the
i-announce.
idiot. Meron pa akong isang upakan. All mga on the assistant pati undersecretary level. Yung dalawa ang sa UPAP, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace Process, which is headed by Secretary Doresa. In fairness also to the Secretary, I'm not attributing anything. I'm zeroing in dito sa Yusek Ronald Flores, pati Director 4, Yester Don Bakay. The problem is, ang Director 4 is a presidential appointee. And Yusek Flores signed the appointment. So, which is, it's illegal. Because there is no authority for a USIC to appoint a director for, and that is parang regional director ang level niya.
Sir, yung isa pa po, sabi niyo meron pa pong isa?
Kalimutan ko mo yung unggoy na yun.
And over what issues?
Same, corruption. Baka siguro yung kagabi. Baka ito na nga. Baka pero itong isa. Well, they were all, the dismissal order was given last night. Not now. Kagabi sa ARPOC. So, what was that? We had the ARPOC in Davao. No, sa Davao City.
I'm sorry to press this, sir, but will Secretary Dureza be moved or offered another post? Will Secretary Dureza be offered another position?
No, he did not ask for anything. So, wala mong what would be an equivalent to a secretary position. It's all occupied.
Ms. Pia?
There are incumbents, so
Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, some camps have been viewing your memorandum number 32 with suspicion. May we know why you issued that order and why in those places, sir?
but itong dalawang
Yeah, MO 32, sir. Additional deployment, military and police deployment.
Dito sa special, ano?
Yes, sir.
Well, because there are so many encounters there, and I'm losing a lot of soldiers and policemen. Ambuscades and everything. You place troops where you think that you need an added force. I seem to be, I mean, I'm surprised why you are so interested about deployment when I'm supposed to take care of the security of the country, and I should be kagaya sa Negros, yung Sagay incident. So, ibig sabihin, sila lang man ang nagpataya noon, but yet it's causing a big issue out there.
Sir, some groups are seeing this as a prelude daw for a declaration for a national martial law.
Ako? But I told you, I will not declare martial law. Yun lang kaya ang usapan natin. You're all interested to know if I'm going to declare martial law or not. No, I am not going to declare a martial law. There's enough powers of the presidency na magamit ko. Well, kung talagang it's widespread violence, then maybe. But I do not need really violence every corner of the Philippines to say that we are in danger. But as the one in the office, they're working for the people. I will do what is necessary to preserve this nation and to protect the people. That is my oath of office. So you're wondering, what is it? That's the riddle. Sometimes it's good to have a riddle.
Sir, last na lang, will there be other places kung saan ipag-utos po ninyo
No,
yung
as of now, not.
additional
But
military
in
police?
places where there's really a flashpoint. Now, another one is, do not be surprised, but in Holo, I also expressed my dismay about the losses. That's why I went to Kawayan to visit the 5 soldiers who were killed in Sulu, and went to Zamboanga last night to commiserate with the troops there. 25 wounded soldiers, and I gave them medals. So, yeah, there will be a division size. Talagang isang division ilagay ko. Not only a company, not only a battalion, not a regiment, but I'm going to place an entire division for the islands there towards Sabah.
Sir, saan
Yun
area?
yung isa. Yun yung
Masultan.
deployment. Tapos yun dito sa Samar, because they are apparently in controlling the inside my areas na there's taxation and they're running as if it is their governments who has the control. I cannot allow that. Negros, because just the recruitment is almost incessant. And the agitation for trouble is always there because the issue is bland. And I'm studying if I should declare. But what my order was really, na yung nanalo na beneficiaries sila sa land, I ordered Casticiones to place them in the possession of the land already. Sabi ko, ASAP. Kasi yung iba nadidelay kasi yung mga landowners, they go into a rigmarole of strategies and everything. Illegal, legal. Sabi ko kay Dar, Secretary Casticiones, place them in the, if they already award the decision, place the tenants in possession of the land immediately. And I might declare the entire island as a land reform area. I'm studying
Which area again, sir?
Negros because there's a lot of trouble there. And alam mo, ito sa totoo lang, I'm telling you now, the problem really is land. We cannot arrive at a peaceful resolution of this controversy if you do not address itong feudalism, actually. That's what's happening there. So it's about time that the landowners look at the reality of the world. There is a law, and sabi ko, hindi ito madala ng barilan. It has to be resolved. The root cause really is, it thrives best on issues about land reform or the absence of land of so many people. And the communists are exploiting it. Mag-create sila ng federation ng mga farmers, then they go about looking for vacant lands and taking over plantations. Sinabi ko nga yung okupasyon, and I warned you that if you do that, my order to the police and the military is to physically evict you, and if you do anything that is wrong and place the lives of my soldiers and policemen, I told them, you can go right ahead and shoot them. Huwag ninyo akong unahan. I went to Boracay. As a matter of fact, yung land lang likod ng Boracay, binigay ko sa mga natibo. And at this time, the land there is worth already $1 million. But there is a prohibition where it says that they cannot sell it within 10 years. But they can have it leased. So, walang expansion na yung mga, kasi may mga ari na, lahat ng public lands binigay ko sa mga native, mga 80.
So, to clarify, sir, it's only Negros Island that you're thinking of putting under land reform? Or
Well,
the other areas that you mentioned
pinaka
here?
is ang itong landlord-tenant, pinakahinog yan dito sa mga tubo. Pati yung malaking coconut plantations.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
I'm sorry, but whether I like it or not, I have to act on it. Because there's a law, it mandates that the only way really is to follow the law, and that is land reform. Pero sabihin ko naman sa mga komunista, do not preempt me. It is not your privilege, your right, to go about occupying lands, yung okupasyon ninyo, and seizing it by force or intimidation. You can lose your funds there and maybe your lives. Pero I will not hesitate to use force, necessary force. Sabi ko nga, hindi ako papayag. Either kulungin ninyo ako, mamamatay kayo dyan. Do not force my hand into it. Hindi ako yung picture, hindi ako papayag. Please do not treat me like the other presidents na makaya ninyo na. Ako pag panahon na, basta hiningi ninyo yan. So if you die there, do not blame this shit on me. You ask for it. But land reform, you just wait. Lahat na halos na binigay ko na. I have been thereabout, distributing titles of land in so many areas. Hintayin ninyo ako. Huwag ninyong unahan kasi hindi kayo ang gobyerno. I do not believe that you are a legitimate entity in the scheme of things of our republic today. Do not fuck with me. Okay?
Mr. Joseph Morong, your last question.
Sir, good evening po. Sir, recently yung Senate po nagkaroon ng investigation tungkol dun sa mga entry ng mga Chinese workers, no? Ang sinasabi daw po is sa mga may 52,000 na pumapasok dito na Chinese as tourists initially, and then they'd be granted working permits to work for online gaming casinos. What are your thoughts about
Yes,
this?
these should be deported. But in the same manner, you should be careful. Because when you point to the Chinese, you're also pointing yourself at us. There are so many thousands of Filipinos working there who went inside China as tourists and working there. Nakaganon yan. Remember, it's not just exploiting a story about the Chinese working here. We're doing the same thing in Malaysia. There are a lot of our women are there. In Indonesia, in China, in Korea. In Korea, marami. Ang mabuti na lang sa Korea, kasi I think the Koreans is a race which remembers gratitude. Kaya they are soft on the Filipinos because we fought the Korean War. But they should not also abuse that privilege that very lenient and issuing visas to Filipinos. Kasi nga, alam nila tumulong tayo. But that should not be a cause for abuse. So, sabi we're complaining about so many, not only Chinese, but Indians are here also working on a host of other nationality. Remember that we have also exported the same problem to them.
Or sir, so ibig sabihin po sir, given that complexity no, and that reality, so parang okay lang po yung ganung setup that you...
No, it's not okay. It is not okay, but there has to be an arrangement there.
Okay.
So, if you think that you are at a loss, as at a disadvantage, because there are so many Chinese nationals working here, remember that we have the same equal amount of people, Filipinos, who are there working in China.
So just one last point, sir.
At wala naman silang dineport. So maybe you can just tell them to go home. Otherwise, if you start to get rough on this issue, there is this distinct possibility that will also happen to you. So, you know, when you sail your ship of state, you avoid turbulent waters.
Sir, just one last. Sir, have you received the shortlist for Chief Justice of the Supreme Court?
Yes,
sir?
I have appointed one. Already I signed the appointment before I left my Manila the other night. So I've chosen one already.
For Associate Justice, sir, or Chief Justice? Because there are two vacancies.
As a Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, sir. May we know who?
Ang Chief Justice?
Yes, sir.
You come to me near and I will whisper the name.
I can do that, sir. Do you want me to?
Hindi nga eh, kasi hindi ako walang appointment. The office will release the appointment. Then you will see that there is a name there which says that si Justice o huwag na lang.
Sir naman.
Hindi nga eh. You wait for the official announcement by Secretary Panelo.
Yes, sir. But you have selected
I
already.
have already selected a Chief Justice. Yes.
Chief Justice. Sir, you mentioned before
Yes,
Fish
I
natin
mentioned
on.
before.
that you appointed si Justice De Castro because she was the most senior in the list.
Oh.
In the list, sir, before, si Justice De Castro, Tessie De Castro. Now, did you also consider seniority in your selection of the new Chief Justice?
Yes, sabi ko, seniority, but you know, binigyan ako ng 5 eh. I got 5 names, yeah. So, I was made to choose.
And you selected whom, sir? And you
A
selected...
hint,
Yes, sir.
his family name begins with the letter Y.
Wala naman, sir. Why?
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Secretary Medaldea.